Hello and welcome to Spartan Chess Group. I'm FIDE instructor Lawrence Tawagwisa. In this lesson, I want to show you how to win with Queen versus Rook in the Philidor's position. Let's take a look. So in this position, it's White's turn to play. However, if it's Black's turn to play, then he's already in Zugzwang, because anything he tries to play, you either lose the Rook or get checkmated. So since it's White's turn to play, we have to give the move to Black. Queen d5 check, check on h1, king to g8. Of course, here you couldn't block with the rook on h7 because queen a8 is a checkmate. So it means here he has to go to g8. Then we play queen to h5. So we have just triangulated using this path indicated by the green arrows to come back to the same position, but now it's Black's turn to play, so he's in Zugzwang. So let's see how many options he has. Let's start with the king moves. If he tries to play the king to f8, which is the only king move, queen h6 pins the rook and we capture it on the next move. So here you try to move the rook. So let's check all the moves along the 7th rank with the rook, starting with the square you cannot get captured immediately, rook d7. Here we play queen e8 check with the double attack and we pick up the rook. So going back, if he tries, of course, rook h7 just falls into a simple checkmate with queen e8 checkmate. So it means he can try to go to c7 with the rook. Here we play queen d5 check, king to h7. Of course, king d8, again there's a double attack on d8, and king f8 falls to a checkmate on d8. So here, after queen d5, he has to go to h7 with the king. Now we play queen d3 check. We want to force him to go back to the 8th rank. King to g8, now queen d8 double attack. Of course, he couldn't go to h6 here because of queen g6 checkmate or queen h3 checkmate. So here you can also try to go to b7 with the rook in this position. After queen h5, rook b7, queen d5 check, picks up the rook immediately. Rook a7 here, again queen d5 check, king h7, queen h1 check, king back to g8. Now we just play a double attack on g1, queen g1 check, and we pick up the rook. So those were the squares you could have tried along the 7th rank. So all these squares indicated in red, you cannot play the rook there immediately because you get captured. So let's see the first square along the g5. We can try to play rook g3. So queen e8 wins faster, maybe with just one move, but in principle let's have all the checks coming from a central square, d5 square indicated in green. So queen d5 check, king to h8. Of course, king f8, again there are those checkmates. So going back here, queen d5 check, king h8, queen a8 check. Of course, you cannot block with the rook to g8 as indicated by the arrow. There's queen h1 mate, king to h7, queen to e4 check, king g8 check on c4, and now he's forced to go back to the h file because he cannot go to f8 because of queen f7 checkmate and queen c8 mate. So king h8, and we have our double attack, queen h4 check, and we pick up the rook. So the next square along the g file is rook g2. They can try to go to g2 with the rook again, queen d5 check, but this time it wins the rook immediately. So the last square along the g file is rook g1. Now we play queen d5 check. So all the checks are coming from the central square, the d5 square, queen d5 check, king h7, now queen e4 check, king h8. So we are moving downstairs, queen to a8, and now is either losing the rook on the next move or is getting mated. So if he blocks with the rook, rook g8, there's queen h1 mate. If he plays king to h7, there's just queen a7 check, and white wins. So that's the Philidor's position in queen versus rook endgames. Here the position starts like this with the queen on h5 with white to play. So we just triangulate and give the move to Black. Then is in Zugzwang. Anything he tries to play from here is either losing the rook or getting checkmated. If you find the video instructive, make sure you hit the like button, you are subscribed to the channel, and leave us some feedback in the comment section. Thank you for watching.